Hey, all you writers out there, it is Friday, and that means we are going to talk to you about how to write a best-selling book. I'm Elizabeth Ann Atkins, co-founder of Two Sisters Writing and Publishing. I'm also a best-selling author and a book coach. And we go live every week with our superstar author, Joni Lindenmeyer, who's coming to us live from her office because her home is under renovation and she is in flex mode. So welcome, Joni.
Thank you, Elizabeth. I may look a little dark or whatever. I'm trying to find the light. It's a foggy day. And yes, if you hear a bunch of construction, I do have the door closed, but we're just going to roll with it, everybody. And it's so applicable, I think, to all the things we ever talk about in writing a book. You
Yeah.
have to be in a flex mode.
Yes, you do, because life is going to keep happening and you have to keep writing. And so it's really cool that your flex mode puts you in the room that has your books on the wall. I see None Better, Joyously Free, and Healing Religious Hurts, which is super cool.
Yes, those are my I frame those from doing all the work that and this is the actual office where I wrote None Better. This is where I actually first met you, Elizabeth,
Oh my goodness.
and then
I
I
love
then I
it.
was able to get a laptop and that moved me around to the living room and everywhere.
Uh-huh.
But this is the exact room where I spilled my guts out, all my tears, all my joys, all my laughter as I wrote, and it just flowed right out of me right here in this room. So everybody, I'm sending you
Oh,
my vibes and let that rip wherever you are, wherever you're writing.
okay. Wonderful, Joni. I love that inspiration. Your energy is just so incredible. You have so much of it, first of all. And secondly, you always stay so high vibe, so upbeat, and that's really wonderful. We need more of that in the world.
Well, thank you. Thank
You're
you.
welcome. You're
Thank you.
welcome.
But
Let's,
I'm not one of those people that I keep my, what's that saying? Keeping your head underneath the carpet or whatever. I'm not always like happy, 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 but I am always hopeful, 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 hopeful,
yeah, that's
you
really
know?
smart. Yeah, really
Yes.
smart.
Yes. Thank you for the
Excellent.
compliments. And so are you. Oh my gosh, your energy is ballistic as well.
Ballistic. That's
It is.
awesome. Thanks, Joni. Thank
When I
you.
think of you, Elizabeth, I think of the galaxy just going like in triple speed around. Oh my gollies, you're more than
Well,
just plates flying. You're a galaxy of all these starbursts happening. So it's a pleasure to know you and to work with you on so many things.
thank you so much. I love the way you just said that. A galaxy with starbursts. That is all. That's it. That's all energy. And
Yep.
speaking of energy, so last Friday we promised our viewers that we would talk about
Yes.
ghost writing, which is really important. But speaking of the galaxy and starbursts and energy, I just want to talk also, and we'll talk another day more in depth, but having events inspired by your books. Phone is
Oh,
blowing up. Having
yes.
events inspired by your books. So I am hosting the Goddess Power Retreat in Southern Oregon at the
Yes.
beautiful Pascal Winery and Vineyard, where we had your None Better book launch. And then we had last October, we had the book party for Joyously Free and Healing Religious Hurts.
Yes.
And so, super excited, Joni, that you are going to be attending the retreat. And the
I am.
message, yes, it's going to be amazing. 4 days of meditations, energy clearing, nature, sisterhood, delicious food, a cozy environment, fire pits, sensuous dance, sauna. The dream house, it's literally called the dream house, where we're going to have the main event, has a sauna on the patio or the deck overlooking the mountains and the vineyard. And then there's also multiple jacuzzis, fire pits. It's just, we're going to dance under the stars. It's going to be so transformative. And so, women from all across the country, just 12 to 14, are going to gather and under my leadership. And then I also invited a woman who does sensuous dance, Sophia Blanton, to teach us about the importance of moving our bodies to release energy that activates our infinite power. And that applies to writers too, because there's a lot of writing that we're going to do at this retreat, Joni. As you know, you read my books, The Biz Tribe, where you activate your goddess power and pleasure, the first two in the six-part series. And there's a lot of writing because writing is transformative. Writing helps you do a deep dive in yourself. So, can you tell me why you decided to attend, Joni? And again, the theme is an event inspired by books.
Yes, yes, yeah, and I'm excited about that. I have been on zillions of retreats, and so I had to wrap my mind around us. And this is a retreat experience extravaganza. It's not just like a 7 day quiet retreat where you have a spiritual director and you spend just oodles of reflective time in the Ignatian spirituality. So I am pumped up about this one. First off, because it's in a great location, which I know of and have been there and
Yeah.
love it. The second one is a group of women that are associated with the same kind of spirit that I have of moving forward, empowering other people, helping other people, and being the best that we can be. So
Hmm.
that's a really cool thing. And I loved your books. I love the journaling part because yes, the more that I was able to journal, like you just said, a deep dive into myself, then I can be a better person for the world. And so that's pretty much it in a nutshell. Then you add all the good things like the good food and the jacuzzi, and the dancing is a crack up because I didn't consider myself a dancer. Carol was the dancer. I
Oh,
move in a way that is totally my unique style, and
uh-huh.
it's like people will laugh and be energized with it. But I'm just fluid that way, and
That's
who knows
good.
what's gonna happen? But
So,
woohoo! And my
yeah.
sister Gail, if you're listening, you know what kind of dancer I am, and she's probably laughing her head off right now because she's a great dancer, and I just sort of move
Oh,
and groove. So I'm
yeah.
looking forward to everything.
Good, Joni. Excellent. So I interviewed Sophia on my podcast, The Goddess Power Show, last night, and she talked about how dance is perceived as performative, and it's not in this context. It is all about what you just said, your personal groove, doing your own thing. And I've seen you dance when you were here to release Joyously Free and Healing Religious Hurts for Pride in, no, that was Joyously Free for Pride in 2024. And we went to that party. It was a Motown party.
Oh yes, oh
And you
yes,
were
oh
dancing.
yes,
Yeah, it was totally great. So it's just all about feeling free to express
yes.
yourself. And this will be with movement. And that's just one component of the retreat. But the bottom line is, all of you writers out there, when you do a book, especially a self-help book like this series, you can have events around the book. And it helps you share the message and mission of your books. It helps you sell books. It helps you monetize your book in another way because people are registering and paying to attend the retreat. It helps you bring it to life where you are actually teaching what's in the book to people in person. And so there's a long list of other benefits, but if you're writing a
Yes.
book, start thinking right now about how you can use the book for events. So, Joni, you know what? You have actually done this a lot with None Better, Joyously Free, and Healing Religious Hurts. When you have a speaking engagement, you have people do writing or different exercises or self-exploration. Can you talk about that?
Oh, for sure, for sure. And I think in the first one, that was a really really cool one was at the Yield. It was a queer gay bar in San Francisco, hosted by
Yeah.
my good and beautiful former student and dearest friend Dalton Bradbury. And what a great night that was as we mingled and talked and drank the wine and just chatted, and then ended up in a circle of just beautiful, heart wrenching sharing from everybody. And it was phenomenal. It was just phenomenal. That's just one thing that one led to. And then other things have led to just beautiful uh, dancing and singing. I'm always, I love to do the ones, this little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine. And so we have different venues for what I do at different places, from bars to pulpits. The other cool thing was the new one coming up that will be at As You Like It in Ashland, Oregon.
Oh,
And As
nice.
You Like It is, it's a love revolution store. They have an entire bookshelf of in wonderful books from straight to queer, and but they're also I'm just going to say it out there, and if you need to edit it, you can. It's a sex toy shop,
I've been
and
there.
yeah, and
I
so
know
what
the
happens?
owner.
You know the owner, Kim Marks, is fabulous, and she's in charge of Pride, and she's been asking me to do an event there for years, and so finally we have a ticketed event there. But that's going to be
Oh,
joyous, and that's going to be with treats and a raffle and fun and sharings from different people, and so that's going to be a really unique one to do that because all three of the books. Think about it, Elizabeth. None Better, Joyously Free, and Healing Religious Hurts is all wrapped around love, sharing, intimacy with your spirit God as well as with relationships. Because if we don't have relationships, we've lost it. I mean, our world will fall apart if we don't have good, healthy, beautiful, kind, respectful, integrity-filled relationships.
I love that. When is your As You Like It event?
Oh, September 20, it's a Fridays, 26th or
Okay.
25th. September
Okay, cool.
26th or 25th.
Okay,
Yes.
cool. So everybody, you can go to the website As You Like It. I think it's .com, but it's a store in Ashland. I think they have another one in Eugene, Oregon. I know there are
That's
two
correct.
stores.
Yep. Yep.
And it's really about adult education. It's about the education we didn't get as kids. It's about educating yourself as a grown man, woman, non-binary, LGBTQ plus person. They have so many things that can help you live your truth. And that
Yes.
even includes
Yes.
prosthetic devices, which I'm not going to get into, but it's when I went in there, my mind was blown. It was so much more than just a pleasure shop.
It
It's
is. It
very
is.
much
It's
about
it, like you
adult.
said, education. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Yeah. And Kim has talked to me about that aspect of what she does. So, and the fact that she has so many books in the store and she's featuring you as an author, that underscores the importance of our topic, using your book to inspire an event that can touch and change people's lives.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's
Yes.
awesome,
Thank
Joni.
you. Thank
So
you.
cool.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Yep. Very
And
cool. But so
also,
there's many ways you can do that.
mhm,
Your 4 day event, your retreat, as well as all the talks that you give and just the sharings with everybody. And it's so interesting that if you're out there thinking, oh, I would like to have Elizabeth or Joni, it can be virtual, the Zoom, or in person. So there's a lot of ways to do that. And as a writer, you can do that as well. Figure out if you want to go to libraries or your card club or your pickleball club or wherever it may take you. There's so
mhm,
many options.
mhm. Okay, that is amazing. And so we have one author, it's our first translation, Neo Cairo. She's an Afro-Cuban motivational speaker, and she wanted her book translated into Spanish. And so we did that. We're publishing it in October. And for her book, we're having a virtual book launch wine and cheese party. So
Nice.
yeah, she's going to be on Zoom. I'm going to host it, and everybody who attends can have wine and cheese and ask the author questions. She'll do a reading. It's going to be extraordinary. So the sky's the limit with what kinds of events you can create around your book, and it should be personalized to what you love, what excites you. And so, Joni, thank you for your support and all the things with the retreat, the Goddess Power Retreat. I'll put the link here for anybody who's interested in attending, and also just continuing to do amazing events around your books, all of which enable people to step away with new information, new inspiration, instructions on how to be better, however they define that. So, all you writers, you agree, Joni?
Oh, absolutely. And I think the other thing about these, every single one that I've been to for myself, they are a safe place. They are a safe
Mm.
place. And that's
Mm-hmm.
important to know, especially in these times right now, that wherever you are in life, it is a safe place.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
you're walking to and from your car or in the building itself or whatever is going on, that is really important to make sure it's a safe place.
Thank you for adding that. And additionally, a safe place means a place where you feel free to express yourself. Because
Mm-hmm.
the topics that we deal with, well, mine are women's empowerment, which could be any topic under that huge umbrella. And then yours specifically, often religion and LGBTQ plus topics. People can be afraid or reluctant to share with strangers. Now, here's what happens. When people read your book, they know, like, and trust you. They feel like they know you. So then when they meet you at an event, they feel like you're a friend because they're in your head because they read your book.
Oh,
And
wow.
so that in itself cultivates a safe environment where they feel comfortable sharing and learning and trusting you as the teacher.
And they sure do. Oh my gollies, I've heard so many stories from so many people, and they're just beautiful. Yes.
Mm,
And I honor that what do I want to call that? I honor that respect that they give me. And yeah, it's very powerful. Very,
hmm.
very powerful.
Beautiful, beautiful. So, Joni, thank you for that on this topic of using a book to create events that are life-changing for people.
Mhm,
So,
mhm.
next, we said we would talk about ghostwriting.
Yes.
Yes. And you
Yes.
wrote your own books. You did not
Yes.
need any assistance. But I'm a ghostwriter and I am actually ghostwriting three books right now. And I just love it, love it, love it. I get to share people's stories. They hire me to write their books and publish their books. But what is a ghostwriter? You'll appreciate this, Joni. I like to call it an angel writer because I serve as the literary angel to actually write the book for them. Yeah. So, oh, of course you have an angel as your
With
prop
the big
today.
wings, the big
Oh,
wings, because you happen to be the wings for those people
I
that you're
love
doing it for.
it.
Oh my gosh. I just think this is the coolest thing that
Oh.
you are. You are the angel wings, not just a ghostwriter. So I have a pair up there because you're working with somebody, right? It's their story, but it's your wings. And so together you're sharing the wings of the ghost and the angels and telling
Wow.
the story. So excited about that.
Uh-huh.
Oh,
Oh, I
the angel
love that,
wings,
Joni. That is
Elizabeth.
beautiful. That is beautiful. Thank you. So, for
You're
those of you
welcome.
listening, Joni was just holding up two porcelain little angels that are just adorable. They have wings and they kind of sparkle, and one's green and one's pink or yellow, and they have little gem rhinestones in them. They're just one's
Uh,
holding a, what's that, Joni? A
It's
crown?
a little hat, a little
Oh, a hat.
bouquet hat.
Okay. And one has a horn, which is symbolic of the trumpet, meaning broadcasting your message.
Right,
So thank
right.
you for that, Joni.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
So,
And these came from Carol via her parents.
oh, wow. That's
Quite old,
beautiful.
they're very fragile, but they're hand painted. They're just absolutely beautiful. Yeah,
Mm,
I
they
love the
are.
sparkles on them too.
Yes, I love that. Thanks,
And
Joni.
the wings, look how large the wings are. They're
They're
almost larger
big.
than the body. It's like,
Uh-huh.
yes, soar.
I love it. Beautiful. So, a ghostwriter or an angel writer is someone who gets hired to write a book for someone. Now, how does that relate to all you aspiring authors out there? In two ways. Some of our actual authors have been like, I don't want to write this book. I've been trying and struggling. Elizabeth, write my book for me. So they hire me as their ghostwriter because they tried
Nice.
and they just decided they don't want to do it. And so for all of you writers out there, you can hire a ghostwriter to write your book. In fact, when I was in one of my book coaching programs, Joni, a woman, she decided that. She was like, this is too much work. My life is too busy. She hired a ghostwriter and she found them either on Fiverr.com or Upwork.com. And I think they were in England, and they wrote her book so fast and for a very low price, very low
Oh,
price. And she was very pleased with the result. So you can get someone to write your book for a low cost. Secondly, the message for writers out there is you can be a ghostwriter. You can be a ghostwriter. That means you solicit business to write books for people. And I just did a workshop at the National Association of Black Journalists Convention in Cleveland, and we went live there 2 weeks ago today. Remember, Joni?
yes, yes.
Uh-huh. And I did a workshop with my friend Micah Matera, who's an anchor at WGN Chicago TV, and she interviewed me sort of Oprah style. And it was outstanding. There were probably 50 journalists in the room, all eager to learn how to be a ghostwriter. And so I shared the business and how to do it, and it was just extraordinary. So, Joni, when you hear the term ghostwriter, what questions come to mind?
What questions? I think you answered a lot of them already of what a ghostwriter does and is.
Hmm.
But I guess I'm looking at it also from the non-professional. I'm thinking of like I have a family member right now who's writing the story of a beloved dear friend. And so it's not going to be published, but it will be available for the family when it's done. And so the interaction between my sister and this other person is phenomenal because of the stories coming out and the deepening of their friendship and the relationship because of it. And
Hmm.
um, I think, it's not just a hired service. It's something you can do within your own family and your own friendships to write a story that if somebody tells you, you're sitting
Yeah.
around having a cup of coffee and somebody's telling you a story, and to be able to say, hey, I'd like to write that out for you.
Hmm. Hmm. I love that. I
That's
love
sort of
that.
the way to think about it.
Yes.
It's sort of small compared to your big way of doing it, but it's still ghost writing.
Right, right, right. And that's a really good point. A lot of people don't want to publish their book for the world. They just publish it for their family. We've actually published several books by people like that who've had very accomplished lives that would be of interest to the public, but that's not their mission. They just want to share their story with their families, their grandchildren, their kids, their grown kids. And a lot of times, kids or even young adults don't think to ask parents questions about their lives. They just are too busy
Mhm.
going to college, getting their jobs, getting married, having kids, whatever else. They're just not asking. And then the parent might pass away, and the kid never had the chance to ask their parent questions about their life. So when you write a book, your child, your grown child, now has access into learning about you and your legacy, which helped form them. So it's really, really profound, actually. Hmm.
Oh, I love that word, profound. Yes, it
Hmm.
totally is. Great, great description there, Elizabeth.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yes.
Thank you. So, one key is if any of you writers out there want to be a ghostwriter, remember this: it's not about you, it's about your author, and you literally have to serve as a channel to channel their voice. The book has to
Wow.
sound like they wrote it. So, if you've read None Better or Joni's portions of Joyously Free and Healing Religious Hurts, you know that she has a specific way of speaking that is conveyed in her writing. She says words like, oh golly, or she has lots of terms that,
Shazam, holy moly,
yes, yes, yes.
wowzer.
Wowzer. Yes, yes, yes. So that really distinguishes her voice. And if you were ghostwriting a book for Joni, you would have to make sure that you sprinkle in all of her exclamations. Wowzer, oh golly. What were the other ones, Joni? Shazam.
Shazam, holy moly, wowie,
Right, right, right. So you
how
have to make
fun,
it. What was that?
how fun.
Oh, how fun. Right, right, right. You have to make it sound like her. Because if you make it sound like you, it's not authentic. And that is the gift of ghostwriting. If you have the gift, do it. If you do not, if you're unable to channel someone else's voice, which means you have to remove your own ego, your own opinions, and do what they want. We have one author that my sister Catherine and I wrote their book for them, a bestseller, super successful. They had hired a ghostwriter before us and fired them because they said the ghostwriter was writing it as if it was their book, not our
Oh,
author's voice. And so you again have to take yourself out of it. If you're unable to do that, this is not for you.
wow, good
Likewise,
point. Oh, that's amazing.
mhm. And likewise, if you hire a ghostwriter, you need to confirm. I would get a writing sample. In fact, somebody who hired me for a ghostwriting job years ago, they were a very successful person. They asked me to do a sample. I had to submit a writing sample as an application to show that I was able to channel their voice. And so I did. And now, and they hired me to do multiple amazing projects. Yeah. So
It's so cool. That's so
thanks.
cool.
Thanks,
Oh my
Jamie.
gosh. So then when you produce this book, do you say written by you or do you say written by the person who's store? Help me with this to understand that.
Great question. Great question. So, it varies. It depends on the author, the person who hired you as the ghostwriter. I personally know that I'm providing an excellent, amazing service to them. My ego is not in it. So if they don't want my book on the cover or anywhere in the book, I'm fine. Most authors will thank me in the acknowledgments and say, Elizabeth, if it weren't for you, this book wouldn't exist. Thank you so much. Former Detroit Mayor Dennis Archer wanted my name on the cover with his. So that was amazing. What an honor. And then other people just, they want it to be their book. And so this is more relevant or prevalent with celebrity books.
Oh,
You know,
oh,
someone really famous who didn't write their own book, they hired someone. They don't need to announce to the public that it's someone else who wrote their book. It's presented as if that celebrity wrote it.
right.
Hmm.
Right. Oh, excellent.
Yeah,
Excellent.
thank
Excellent.
you.
And I feel so honored to have your name and my name on our two books. You
Oh,
know,
thank you.
I just
Yes.
love that. And
Mhm.
the acknowledgments for none better. I love being able to thank so many people, especially you and Catherine and
Mhm.
my artists and Gail and Cami. And oh, here is a whole list of people, but that is such an honor to be able to do
Mhm.
that in their
Mhm.
super. You know, that reminds me of Elizabeth, for a ghost writer, then does can you have how do I want to say that? As their story continues, are you able to write like book number two, book number three, or wherever they want to
Oh,
go with that?
good question. Well, everybody has a different mission as they set out on their book writing journey. So if they say, I want to do a sequel or a series, sure. Most of the people who've hired me to do their memoir are retired from an extraordinary career. And so they're looking back for the most part. They are
Okay.
talking about the future and their legacy, etc. But most of them are looking back, so they're not trying to
Okay.
do another book. This is like it. But
Okay.
that's an
Okay.
absolutely that can happen. Yes.
Okay. And then what would happen if somebody says, Elizabeth, I had this idea of this great fiction, made up story, imagined story. Would you put it to words? You know,
Mhm.
is that part of ghostwriting too?
So years ago, when my sister worked in uh, Chattanooga, she met a gentleman and just happened to mention me being a ghostwriter. This was before we started our company. And he's like, "Oh, I want to write a book. I want to meet her." So this gentleman owned a private plane, flew up to Detroit, met with me in the airport conference room to see if, we could do business together and I could serve as his writer. He hired me, and then I got to write his book. And so there's another aspect, travel and adventures, that I'm going to talk about in a second. But that was just an extraordinary experience to write his novel. It was fiction based on his experience and his really wild, amazing idea. It was brilliant. So I had to do a lot of research, but because I started my career as a novelist, as my author career, yeah, I'm perfectly capable of writing suspenseful novels, and this one was very suspenseful. It was delightful. And so, does that answer your question, Joni?
Does. It does.
Okay.
Woohoo! That's
Okay, so
exciting.
thank you. That gets into the second part of the coolness of being a ghostwriter. So for this project in particular, he flew me down. I stayed with him and his family in their beautiful home. And because the book involved the equestrian world of Kentucky, he took me on tours to see the stables and talk to the people who worked there and look at the beautiful horses. And I got a peek into that, as well as the culture and the beauty of horse country, which it's just like rolling emerald green hills with these white fences. The kind of fences you see at horse farms. I don't know if
Yes.
it's like
Yes.
two sticks and then it's hard to describe, but it's so picturesque. And I got to try foods there. I had fried green tomatoes and, experienced the cuisine in restaurants, which was just extraordinary. But Joni, other ghostwriting travels, I've been all over the East Coast visiting private boarding schools that some of my clients have attended. Out west, I got to go in this mountainous retreat that had hot springs in the
Wow.
mountains, and it was
Whoa.
nighttime, it was snowing, and there was steam rising off the hot springs. So I got in and in this hot water from the earth that's full of this lithium that's so good for you, and it's snowing and it's
Mhm.
dark. Oh my gosh. Amazing experiences for being a ghostwriter. So, and your author will pay for it. And I
Right.
got to ride in their private, this was a different person who owns a private plane. I got to ride in their private plane for that experience, which
Oh
was
my
so
gosh.
cool.
Oh my gosh, how fun! How fun!
It was. And then a
Oh,
lot of times, my ghostwriting clients, we meet at restaurants. So you get to eat delicious food while having this phenomenal interview. And it's just a really wonderful way to share my knowledge and experience to help showcase amazing people by writing and publishing their books.
it's so cool. So cool. Oh my gosh. Oh, you are amazing. It's like,
Oh, thanks,
oh
Joni.
my
Thank
gosh.
you.
I think someone, you better write your own memoir of all these things. It's like, it's incredible, you know?
Well, I wrote God's Answer is No, K-N-O-W,
Right,
Lessons from a Spiritual Life, but that had a focus about spirituality. So I think
right.
there will be many more memoirs with themes. And thanks for raising that, Joni, because a memoir has specific themes. And so you can write multiple memoirs with different themes from your life. And I'll do that.
Oh,
Maybe Adventures of a Ghostwriter.
there you go. I love it. I love it.
Thank you. So here's one
Yeah.
more thing about ghostwriting, which I think you're going to really appreciate, Joni, is confidentiality and
Oh,
respect.
oh,
Because a lot of times, again, you create that safe space. People trust you. They're trusting you with their life story. And they're also
mm-hmm,
trusting you with secrets,
mm-hmm,
sometimes
mm-hmm,
that they have never shared with other people.
mm-hmm,
And so
mm-hmm.
you must, as a ghostwriter, be able to keep secrets, maintain confidentiality, and that's all about respect. You respect your client. You are you don't discuss what they tell you. People can read it in the book if it makes it in the book. Period.
Right,
Hmm.
right. Oh, I love that point. And I know that that was so true when you and I worked together on, especially None Better, because there were some confidential things that I wasn't sure if I wanted to put in there or not put in there. And I did, of course, but at the same time, it was wonderful to share those with you, knowing that it was in confidence.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yes, yes.
Yes. Beautiful, Joni. So the same goes regarding trust if you are the ghost, if you hire a ghostwriter. You have to get to know this person and see if you really just trust your gut. Your gut will tell you if you get a creepy feeling or something slippery about them, they're not your person. Don't just go with them because they were recommended or it's the price that you like or whatever else they've written in the past. Don't go follow your gut. Your gut will never mislead you.
Right. Oh, yes. Yes, yes, yes. Follow that gut for sure, for sure, for sure. And I know that I'm thinking recently in the last month or two, I've sent to you, not sent to you, that's the incorrect way of saying that. I've recommended to Tony and to Dylan that they do a 20-minute free consultation with you on the
Oh.
questions that they have for their writing. And so, listeners out there, I'm just pointing that out to you as well that, Elizabeth does this free 20-minute consultation. And if you have questions or thoughts about writing, get a hold of her.
Thank you, Joni. You're the best. Thank you for referring. And it's all about
You're
helping
welcome.
people. Yeah, I'm
Yes,
honored.
yes,
Hmm.
yes. And it's so nice to be able to say, hey, I know somebody that can possibly help you. It's nice to be able to say that and say that with integrity and confidence and
Yeah.
pizzazz.
Hmm.
Yes,
Hmm.
yes,
Yes,
for
yes, yes,
sure.
yes.
So any other final comments from you today? This has been awesome.
Oh, thank you. So if people want to tune back in at 2 o'clock Eastern time, which would be 11 o'clock your time, Joni, on the Pacific Coast, I am going to be interviewing here on the Two Sisters Writing and Publishing channel our author, Dr. Robert Truhers. He had cardiac arrest and he's a physician and he felt himself descending into hell. And he was very baffled because he spent his life devoted to saving lives and being an excellent physician. And he didn't understand how this could happen. And then his wife, his very loving wife, was there in the hospital room calling him back. And it's so powerful. Oh my gosh, I have chills. But it's in his book, 10 Second Chances. And it's on our website, twosisterswriting.com, as well as on Amazon in hardcover, paperback, and ebook. But this book talks about his 10 near-death experiences that started with the first one where he descended into hell and then spent many years trying to figure out why that would have occurred. And so he does come to some conclusions. But if anybody wants to hear him talk himself, please tune back into Two Sisters Writing and Publishing's YouTube channel right here, and you get to watch the interview. It will also be here after the fact. So,
Awesome.
yeah.
Awesome. You know, and that's so amazing, Elizabeth. You started out by talking about events that books lead you to. Books lead you to podcasts so people can see you and hear you. This is
Mhm.
incredible. That's just
Mhm.
one perfect example of that. What
Oh,
a
thank
wonderful
you.
story. 10
Thank you.
times. Oh my
Yes.
gollies.
I know, it's really incredible. And the love that he has with his wife, who's a co-author, and his son Bradley and his son-in-law Alan Davenport, they all contributed to the book, which is also unique. It's like a family affair. It's very powerful. And they're having a big book event at the UCLA Retreat Center in Southern California in October. So there's an event, and he's going to talk.
Ooh.
And the UCLA medical team that did his heart transplant that saved his life will be there too to talk. So that's going to be extraordinary.
Oh, fabulous.
Hmm.
Fabulous. Oh
Yeah.
my gollies. Oh
Hmm.
my gollies.
Yeah.
Life is so amazing for everybody.
Yeah, it really is, Joni. Well,
Yes.
thank you again for another wonderful episode of our podcast, telling people how to write, publish, and promote an excellent best-selling book. That's our mission here. We've been going at it for more than 2 years every Friday, and it's really exciting. So thank you, Joni, for embarking on this educational journey with me.
Oh, my pleasure. And thank you as well. Absolutely. You're welcome. Woo!
So, all of you writers out there, please visit twosisterswriting.com. You can see all of our books, Joni's memoir, None Better, An Amazing Love Story, which is a bestseller, as well as the two books we wrote together, Joyously Free, Stories and Tips to Live Your Truth as LGBTQ plus people, parents, and allies, and then Healing Religious Hurts, Stories and Tips to Find Love and Peace, and all the other books by Two Sisters Writing and Publishing. So you can also, if you want some help or want to schedule a free discovery call with me over the phone or Zoom, you can just schedule that on the website as well, twosisterswriting.com. Any final words, Joni?
Nope, but this has been fantastic.
Awesomeness. Okay,
Yes,
cool. All right. So all you writers out there, we wish you happy reading and happy writing. We'll see you next week. Thanks for
you bet.
watching.
Bye, everybody. Big hugs. Bye.